Hey, what's up? I am so excited because today I'm taking you with me and we are going to Michael's and we're going thrifting. And the reason is because I thrift almost all of my materials when I can, but sometimes I like to get craft supplies like new because that adds those final touches to a project. And I'm an avid Hobby Lobby shopper, but I'm looking to mix things up and find more variety and even find like small businesses that I could support for these things. So if you have a small business or know of one that sells little crafting, embellishment, finishing touches, trims, things like this, I would love to hear about it because I'm constantly looking for those things and I tend to buy those new. I will say I get a lot of trims from estate sales and almost all my fabric. I'm not looking to get fabric new because I love to get vintage fabric. That's like my specialty. But I've been seeing a lot of people getting things from Michael's lately, and so I thought I would take you along because I've not shopped Michael's in a really long time, and I've not shopped there since I started paper crafting and making journals. So I'm just interested to like see what they have. Okay, so former shopaholic, I get way too excited to go shopping, but I don't shop that often, so it's always like, I don't know, just it gets me excited. So let's pray that I can keep myself in check and not buy a bunch of stuff I don't need, but just buy things that I can either sell in my shop or use personally. Wish me luck. Coming in focused. I don't need any clothes, so I'm going straight back to the textiles. So like linens, bed sheets. Sorry, my voice is a little weird. I'm recovering from a sickness. So yeah, I'm just gonna skip right past all the clothes. Sometimes I grab them though for the texture. I like to look at all of it, like linens, placemats, crochet items, because there are gems just hidden in these like mundane places. I like that floral, but it just wasn't quite right. Sometimes I like the piece, but the price isn't right, and you'll see that a lot. I wanted to show you a lot of the tags for that reason. Like this is stained up pretty good, and in an estate sale it'll be marked down, so I might cut into that. But here they were wanting 10, which is too much for a damaged item, in my opinion. I've also gotten better about just appreciating things, but not taking them home with me if I don't have a use for them, like these coasters. I love them, but I don't need them. I'm a tactile shopper, so I'm looking for something that I touch it and it feels interesting. It feels like good quality. Again, too expensive, too rich for my blood. But love that. I really did love that. Thing about this thrift store, I can come back on a sale day and a lot of these items will be marked $1. So I'm kind of like taking notes of if I want to come back as well. I come in here probably twice a month, just see what they have, anything new. And I do get a lot of fabric at this particular store. But it's usually in the form of tablecloths or sheets, and then I cut it down into fabric. I have something similar to this, so I left it because I haven't used mine yet. But I thought that was an interesting one. I like this patchwork one too, but I just don't have a use for it. If it's not calling out for me, like what to do with it, a project, or to sell it, I leave it. I'm getting a lot more selective with what I bring back these days. Sometimes I find really cute prints in the baby section and crochet pieces too. I didn't love the colors on that one. The granny square kind of drew me in. I could cut into it and make something, but it was too damaged for 15. I don't touch everything. Sometimes I just skim through with my eyes, see if any prints pop out. This one did, but it just wasn't quite right for the 15. Oh yes, this Holly hobby. I have one of her and I sold it and it went well, but I don't know, I just wasn't as drawn to this print. Tell me, did I leave it? Should I have gotten it? Ooh, I found the fabric. It was hidden in these little bags. You have to get a whole bag full of it and just see if you like it. So I went ahead and grabbed like several of those bags, and I will show you those in better detail when we get back home. I went in the dresses just to see if I could find any plus size with really good fabric. I didn't have any luck today, but here's some examples of like how much fabric there is. And we're in the crafting department. This is the department where nobody cares at the thrift store. They just dump the stuff here and we have to sort through it ourselves. So it's a bit of a dig situation. So I'm just gonna show you what it looks like, and then I'll get in here and grab some stuff. Okay, I kind of skimmed through. All right, the books section I'm gonna skip over because I'm being strict with myself. I have plenty of books. I need to work with what I already have, but they have a great book selection here. And I found a book I want to get. We see how well that worked, being strict with myself. I really like these planes and I want to do something with them in my paper crafting. Okay, I found some ribbons and they wanted just 5 for the whole bag, so I went ahead and grabbed those. And I found this trim, which I love. Also found this thing full of zippers. I'll show you in better detail when we get back to the house. But yeah, that was a good find. This would be a good candidate for like a junk journal, like the binder style, but I'm putting it back because I have, like I said, I have too many. So here's my total. I found a decent amount of stuff. I'll show you everything when we get back home, but we're almost to Michael's. So let's see what they carry here. I'm just really curious. I grab a cart because I feel optimistic. I do that everywhere, like the thrift store, just grab a cart. Right off the bat, I see they have a ton of this buy one, get one free paper. I'm not a big fan of that promotion though, because it seems a better deal than it really is, if you know what I mean. I'm more of a flat percentages off, like 40% off, 50, 60%, just flat. I decided to look at their single sheets of paper just to see what the difference is compared to like Hobby Lobby, and none of the prints were really drawing me in. I thought the lace was kind of interesting, but I tend to just add lace, like actual lace, to my paper, so didn't have any luck with the single sheets here, but I thought I would show you sort of what they look like. I have one that looks like that, except it's like a wrapping paper. I thought it was nice to see the paper packs here in the store because online you can't see inside. If anyone from Michael's is watching, here's a tip. If you put little flip throughs like this, even of the corner pages on your website on the listing, I think you'll have so many more sales, because people like me, we want to see what the pages look like. Just a flip through, that's enough to know, like, do I want this or do I not? But the website pictures, it's not enough to be able to tell. So I'm flipping through a few of these here just to show you like what these ones, I was interested in this vintage one, but online, but when I flipped through it, I was like, no, it's not really speaking to me. But I was thinking for background papers initially, but it just, yeah, it wasn't speaking to me. Just a 30-second little video on each listing would be so helpful. I'm hoping they start doing that. It would be really cool. I don't think I'm like a paper pad type person, because unless they're solids, I tend to not like more than half of the prints in the thing. And so it's like hard for me to want to get all those when I only want a few of them. So I tend to just do like my own collages for backgrounds and things like that and use solid colors. That's just me though. Okay, so I did find they had a lot of these smaller paper pads, which I may like to come back and try these out. I looked over a few of them, but none of them were really jumping out at me. They had lots of colors for ink. I didn't need any ink, but if I did, I would grab this one. They had a lot of stamps. Lots of colored clothespins and things to use in journals. I think I have this ink, or one really close to it, but I love all the colors on the inks. I like these vellum envelopes they carried. Tags too. The scalloped edge, love that. They had a lot of embellishments, floral, leafy type stuff. I really like these. Yeah, all sorts of different colors for lots of different designs. The workers were starting to think like, what are you doing? I was taking a ton of videos. I started to feel a little weird, but I kept going. I'm really drawn to roses. They had lots of stickers. I don't tend to buy the sticker packs very often. I don't know why. I think I just kind of prefer to glue down like my little collage bits. But the sewing one was kind of fun. It's not my style, but I love sewing. Washi tape. I'm fully stocked on those. Don't need them. Very pretty though. This made me appreciate my leather more. I didn't realize it was so expensive. Just for the cording is like $11 to $24. I have lots of leather I need to use. This made me appreciate it more. Okay, we're getting into the beads. I thought these could be really fun for making dangles on journals, or I'm even going to be making like these collars, and these could be interesting little tie detail or centerpiece. I was very inspired by a lot of these beads. Yet at the same time, I have so many beads and pendants. I just couldn't bring myself to buy any more. And they were also buy one, get one half off. I'm not really tempted by that at all. The gears were kind of interesting. They had organizers. These were pretty pricey. Buy one, get one half off. $40 for that. It's literally just like acrylic. Okay, now we're in the bead section. This is 60% off, so a lot more enticing, a lot more tempting in my opinion. And they had some really pretty beads. These mother of pearl ones caught my eye. I don't need any more beads. But these beads, some of them were really, really pretty. I was really drawn to like the rock styles. I hadn't seen those. Really like these colors. So, so pretty. I don't know about the iridescent, but I just feel like that would be fun to work with. More rocks with little glimmer. Look at those colors. That's amazing. I love those. I was tempted to get those. I love turquoise. The wood. And here's like little fun sort of cutesy novelty ones. A good selection of beads, I would say. A really good selection of beads. I have these skulls just in a different color. The butterflies were cute. The little insects, I think. Are they angels or insects? Back to the organizers, see if there's any better deals over here. I already have little drawer sets, so I didn't need those. But I think they're a little pricey in my opinion for what they are. $60 for a caddy. I have a lot of those. Those are $3.99 all the time at Hobby Lobby. So I decided to check out the ribbon because that's something I like to stock up on. And I've been wanting to make ribbon roses. So I'm pulling out a few to kind of see how many yards are in each one. To see like, is it a good deal? Because these are, say you buy 2, get 3 free. But I don't know if it's mix and match. And I really didn't see enough, like nothing, none of them jumped out to me that I actually wanted. So I didn't ask if they were mix and match. Somebody opened this one, but I thought that was interesting texture. Kind of reminded me of lace, but just gold. I would like to see more laces in their ribbon department. But these were just more like basic, which I guess that's good, but it just wasn't. I'm looking for more ornate type trims. I guess vintage trims is what I prefer, so that's just what I'm used to now. sorry if this sounds negative. This is just my honest feedback on the store. I really, really did like these. If I was going to make an impulse buy, I would buy these like moss covered thingamajiggers. Probably this would be the one I would go for. I'm really drawn to it. I don't have an actual use for it. I'm not a decorator, so I'm going to leave it, but I would get the mushroom house too. Why? I don't know, but I would. I didn't though. Look at the little miniature things. I don't know what I would do with them, but I like these mushrooms. Just if they were in a different color, I might like to make little miniature bouquets with those. And I was just really drawn to all the miniature items. I know they're for fairy gardens or something, but I just think they're really fun and cute and adorable. So fun. But I don't know what I would do with them. They had a lot of faux florals. I've fallen into this trap before and purchased a bunch of faux florals. Too many that I could ever need. So this wasn't a tempting section for me, but I thought I would showcase it because I think they're really pretty. They had a pretty good selection. That was just a tiny snippet of it. They had little Easter things, more like stems, picks. Well, that was anticlimactic. I didn't find anything in Michael's. I saw things that I liked, but I guess I'm just spoiled with like thrifting prices, estate sales, and even Hobby Lobby. Some of those items, they're supposedly like the lowest price of the season, and that's probably true for Michael's. But for Hobby Lobby, they keep those prices low throughout the year, which I appreciate because I don't necessarily want to go splurge and buy a bunch of stuff just because it's on sale if it's things that I'm not out of. Whereas Hobby Lobby, I can just go there when I run out of something and it's easier, or even do an online order. I'll take you back home and I'm going to show you everything I thrifted. I'm going to pull it out so you can see it better, and I'll break down the cost per piece, and then that'll probably explain better why I favor thrifting. Okay, I did get several in the bag that I'm not going to be using, so instead of taking them in the house, I'm just going to cut my ties with them right here. There's this solid orange upholstery fabric I'm going to redonate. Just not the style I'm after. These came with the other fabrics, so I'm keeping the ones I want and getting rid of these. A solid yellow polyester, probably from the 70s, and a blue, not fleece, a blue felt. I have enough felt, so sending this one back into the universe. So these three are getting redonated. This was only $3.98, and it will go perfectly with my others. I have one here in the garage that I'm going to put it with. I'm just going to wipe it down. And then I have one in my living room. But these are super heavy duty metal. And if I get this from even Target or maybe Walmart, it would cost like 15, 18, some 20 bucks. So, and that would be in plastic. So I was so excited to get this. Okay, so now I have it on this rack with the other one. I like that the other one has the little labels, but for, again, $4, I can't complain. I'm going to be storing ephemera and paper packs and things like that, and that I sell or I'm going to sell in my shop. So this will be a nice way to keep it all stored flat and safe. I also have this one that I keep in my living room. I've got it kind of sorted by theme, and that just sits there in the corner. I'm trying to get my paper crafting stuff to be like this, organized, so I have less of these sort of bins. So I'm trying to downsize it, and I love these for that. And so I thought it was so cool that it was the exact same style, metal, vintage, everything. So that worked out really well. Okay, so the rest are pretty straightforward. They came in those little bags that were closed up, so I couldn't really see or feel the fabric. So I had to take a little bit of a risk, and I'm glad I did because I already really like this one. There were several in there though that I'm just going to redonate because it's just not like my cup of tea or my customers. So, but yes, perfect. Love this. All of the fabrics had at least 1 yard minimum, I feel like. I haven't measured them yet, but a decent amount. There's this one. It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say crochet, but something kind of like an open knit, sort of it's gray with silver. It's interesting. I don't know how this will do, but I mean, I don't see why I shouldn't work with it. I shouldn't post it and see if anybody wants it. It just seems kind of unusual, and I'm sure it would. What could this be for? Maybe like a top? The next one was a fabric also. See, I don't know if this is a color bleeding or it's part of the pattern, but it's on all of those, and then all the other ones are regular, so I think it's part of the pattern, but I'm going to disclose that regardless. And it's just this sort of like tile pattern fabric, and the sides have this cut on all around the edges, so somebody pinked the edges. And I have 6 of these, and they're these panels, so I just think that this is really nice. I like it. I was really drawn to this. This is one of the reasons I decided to grab those fabrics. I saw the bird and I was drawn to that. This one is, I think, like a cotton blend. It's a non-stretch, and it has this nice floral embroidery. It's gray with brown embroidery and just a hint of sequins. I was thinking about using this to make curtains, but since it was slightly too small, I posted that in my shop. Another vintage floral. This one actually sold really fast, within a few days. Then we have these very vintage, dainty floral coordinating, I guess, fabrics, because one is yellow and one is blue, and they just have this nice texture, like a seersucker texture to them. These are the type of fabric I like to sell, so I was super excited to find those. Okay, so on this fabric, there was staining, so you can see there and here. So I guess it ended up with the right person, because I will be able to work around the stains because I'm an upcycler, but most people would probably have just redonated it. So, but yeah, I really like this strawberry print. And the very last fabric, I believe, hopefully I didn't miss any, is this vintage floral and these pink, purple, and green. And I decided to keep a few for an upcoming project that you will see on this channel soon. This is a sheer pink fabric, and I have a project in mind for that. And this one too, and they're going to be going in the same type of project, just different styles. And so this is I don't know what it is. Is it a satin? It's definitely nice quality. But yeah, it's like this pink, really pretty pink satin, or it feels like nicer than satin in my opinion, but it just has that satin look, so I don't know. But it's perfect for what I was wanting to make, which I will show you when I get into that project. Okay, so here's that bag of trim, and I saw this and I knew this was quite a bit of elastic, so this alone was worth the price. $5 for the whole thing. And let's see what else. I like this color. A lot of the colors I did like. Okay, so I didn't see this. This is a velvet one. I knew there would be a few I didn't like. I will redonate this one. I really like this kind. And I didn't see this at Michael's, but I like how it has this little feathered edge. And there's another one of those right here. So yes, I actually could use a lot of satin because I like to weave it in between the vintage trims that have those like openings. I'll insert a picture of what I'm talking about here. So I really don't have a lot of these, just plain colors. So minus this one, which I won't be using, I have 22 trims here, and I just counted the elastic with those. That breaks down to 22 cents per spool. No brainer. Okay, so this one I paid $6.98 for. It was taped up, so I couldn't open it at the store, or wasn't supposed to, so I didn't. And it was just full of zippers. Ooh, this is a good one. So this is a really long one. Oh, very, very long zipper. I can't get it all in, but there it is. Okay, so that might, I don't know why you would need a zipper that long. Somebody let me know. But these, oh, these are also very long. I might put some of these in my eBay or Poshmark because I won't need this many zippers, but I don't know if they're worth listing or not, so I'll look into it. But I just feel like the long length on these would be useful for maybe somebody that makes duffel bags or clothing. I think it would have to be, well, it's got the stopper there on the end. I don't know a lot about zippers, but if it has the stopper, that could be used on like jackets and such. So I don't think I'm going to be able to count all of these, you guys. You're just going to have to kind of take a look. These are probably, there's a lot of zippers in here. And then there's like these kinds. So there's a nice variety in here. I mean, I can toss this one. I'm not going to remove it. I've already got a lot here. So yeah, lots of zippers. I always say I'm going to make bags. Maybe that's my sign to start making some. Okay, I got this cookbook and I paid $3 for it. Just because it has this binder style, so I want to use it for a junk journal. And of course, I would like to have some of the recipes in here as well. I really like vintage cookbooks. I have a collection of vintage cookbooks. So I'll probably decide if I want to keep the cookbook as it is and use it. And if I don't, I will use it for a junk journal and I will just take out the recipes that I want. But so there's that. And then the other one I showed you in the store, but I didn't pay $4. This was half off, so I paid $2 for this. I was just drawn to this. I really liked the vintage planes, all the different pictures of vintage planes. It's basically just a picture book, which is what I love to get when I'm looking for things to do paper crafting with. I will almost always choose books and vintage images and vintage stationery and things like that to work with my paper crafting before I will go buy new paper, just because there's so much already out there, and these images and a lot of the books and magazines, I find the vintage graphics just like really speak to me. So I was really happy to add this to my collection. But I wanted to share that because I don't know if a lot of people think of thrifting like fabric or craft supplies, but I've actually been finding quite a lot of it, and the fabric isn't always this inexpensive, but I don't mind paying more for it. I determine like what I feel is a good price, and if it's more than that, I leave it. If it's less, I go ahead and grab it. Sometimes I get extra lucky, and these broke down to be like $1.50 per fabric, which is amazing. And if you don't go thrifting for your fabric or craft supplies, you may give it a shot, because you never know what you'll find. And I'm always like, I really enjoy the thrill of the hunt, so it's just exciting and fun. And a lot of times I find that I find things that are perfect for the types of projects I have upcoming. So I think there's something about that sort of universe providing what you need when you need it. I'm like a firm believer in that, because I've been thrifting for so many years, and oftentimes I don't always find what I want, but I oftentimes find what I need or what I could use. And then there's always those like bonus items that you get really excited about. And so yeah, I just want to share that. I think that's a good place to stop for today. So thank you for watching, and I will be back doing Jarbo. Is that how you say it? That's gonna be my next video. If you haven't subscribed, consider it. I would love to have you, and I'll see you later.